Alrighty then, it's 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. For those who are new here, we do this every weekend at 5 o'clock, wherever you may be in the world. Even if you're in the East, it's 6 o'clock. If you're to the West, it's about 4 o'clock. So be sure to keep an eye on your time zone. As always, we have myself, Grumpy of the Bears, the Corvos of the Ninjas, and a stealthy of the Jades, the disembodied, somewhere in the room. She's setting up a campaign because for the next few weeks or so, off and on, due to families, due to personal life, and the certain people in the group, no problem with this. Personally, we're gonna figure it out and situate it. They're gonna be gone here and there to sort things out. Nothing to worry about for those who are watching. It's just a lot of their kids are going through things, and the parents want to be there for them when they do those things. So I hope you're looking forward to it. We will be having D&D after the stream, though. So, right? Am I wrong? We are having D&D tonight in some way.
Yeah, somehow. Whether we're doing, I think you found a one map, one shot, sweetheart. Stealthy.
He's exorbitant.
So you did find a one map, one shot for us to do tonight.
This is
I'm assuming she's working on it. So I'll if we don't,
but
we'll
you
tell
did
you at the end
find
of it.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, she found us something. She said to say she did find us something. We will have something tonight.
Okay. I just don't want to get the viewers an idea of
No, and then we gotta, when we do our pre-call, we have to get Clouder and Dragon to make them one, and it's gonna be a boys' night out.
All right.
So what happened the last time that happened? We all went to jail.
Yeah. So it means we're gonna have to get them in the call. Hell, we can make that a part of the stream if people want to watch how people make characters.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. But let's talk about our little topic, and then if you want to, we got time. We'll see if we can get them in call and do a little discussion.
Okay. But yes, this week, today we are going to be talking about how we go about ourselves making characters. Now, I don't really remember, but somehow in some way we brought this topic up before. And I don't really know what angle you're going to go for it, so I'm trying to remember if we have or not.
Last time we kind of went through how you make a character.
Yeah.
This time I'm kind of looking at like viewpoints, like the different thought process. So like, I'm sure when you're building a character, your thought process is different than when I build a character. Yeah. So I was just kind of curious, because I guess what I'm wanting the listeners to get is that just because your thought process doesn't match someone else's thought process playing this game does not mean that you can't build a character in the order or how you want to. The reason this come up is I had a conversation with someone who literally explained to me that the reason that they had never played D&D wasn't because they weren't interested, because they were very interested, very knowledgeable. You could tell this person had did some reading and stuff like that, but they never played because they felt like the things that they think of when they're first building their character doesn't match with what a lot of other people do, and they don't want to feel like they don't want to they don't want to, because their choices hinder somebody, or along the lines make other people feel that they're not knowledgeable. They don't want to feel like they're being treated like dummy,
Yeah.
And the conversation kind of worked around too is there's no one set process.
No.
Thought process when it comes to building a character. So with that being said, when you are first thinking about building a character, what's your first thought process? What's the first thing you think about?
Okay, well, for me, I call me an oddball, right? My first process of making my character, considering how I like playing my characters and how I enjoy playing D&D, the first thing I do is try to find the voice. For me, personally, find the voice,
Okay, I can see that with you. I really can.
and then try to find the attitude. I want the attitude and the voice to reflect. And damn it if it doesn't match the character in a sense of, like, you know, most people, they hear dwarves, right? Always has that deep Scottish accent beyond it. And I can't do a Scottish accent. Not at all. Not one bit. I've tried. I can't do it. So what did I give Baldrum? A full kind of makeover. I didn't give him any sense of like, you know, I know how to talk. He's mostly grunts, growls, and periodically says single syllable words. That's all I gave him.
By the end of that campaign, No had at least got the basics of smash that, come here, don't do that across to you, damn it.
Yeah. So, and then when it came for Turt, well, I didn't want to give him the classic Ninja Turtles voice, man. You know, I didn't want to give him that Surfer Boy voice, but I wanted to give him that high, squeaky, like just a lovable goofball. Oh, that classic, you know, cartoon Muppet voice. And I don't know, my brain just went. He's just like he's kind of like lost it. He's not all there. He's lost all of his family. He's been alone for a long time, and he's living a love romantic crazy boy. And I just wanted to give him that lovable charm. And some people are like, oh, that might be perfect for him. But then for now, my Cancun, I could have gone for, you know, squeaky bird voice, but I didn't think that would be fun. This guy's a gruntal war veteran that is wants to take in all the adopted kids and, you know, protect them and guide them, but yet not be constantly so serious about everything and try to be lighten of the mood. And of course, my personal, who I am as a person, comes out in that character, because we can't help that, because whether or not we try to set our characters as set person, our truest self will come out in that character, because that's who we are. So again, voice, don't really kind of race or thing, and then how I want the character to portray himself. That's what I want. Everything else is like a second thought to me.
Right. And see, for me, it's kind of, I would almost say damn near opposite. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, my first thought process is what do I want this character to be able to do? Like, what is he?
Yeah.
Is he a Hulk smash? Is he a wise wizard? Is he a veteran? What do I want him to do? What am I building him to do? And then once I get that, then I look at him and I say, okay, then I go into what's his personality? What's he sound like? How's he going to represent himself? I go the other way. Mm-hmm. So like with Ditto, for example, when I built Ditto, I built him because my thought process was I wanted somebody sneaky, I wanted somebody stealthy, and I wanted somebody that not everybody completely trusted, right?
Yeah.
And then once I got that character built, then I thought, okay, now what's his personality? He's going to be a devious, sneaky little shit that would just as soon snipe you as possible. But we're going to leave a little bit of that, he could be a better person, you know, arc in there, so that if that develops, it develops, right?
Yeah.
Which it did. It worked out for him. And then, of course, I had to do the voice, you know, the creepy little voice from the, the little deviant in the corner.
Yeah.
You know, that fit, because he would take any opportunity to do something deviant. You know,
yes.
Although, you know, Turt made him regret that fucking coin pouch from the moment it happened. Like, you heard multiple times Ditto said, I shouldn't have left that damn pouch. Shouldn't have touched it. Look at where I'm at. This shit. You know, it was, but I developed his personality and character for me based off of what I designed him to do.
Yeah.
For you, you develop the character in and of itself, his voice, his attitude, what he's into, and then you put the abilities and stuff to go with that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like going two opposite directions, but you end up in the same place.
Yeah, but also I like learning what the characters, like even through the gameplay, learning what the characters' mannerisms are. Because like we all just naturally, instinctively, whether or not we know it or not, me naturally, I say a lot. Even when I'm right there, even when I'm talking naturally, I find myself saying a lot. And for Turt, it was home, home. I like that, and for the this you know, a little chuckle in it, a little play visual. I like that mannerisms as like, it's just natural for a person when they're speaking to try to fill in voids of empty sound or empty space, to try to keep the conversation either going or feeling just natural. And I like learning that mannerism of the character. It's not just I play character to do said moves, which moves are nice, but at the heart of D&D, at least for me, it is still, you, even when the combat, you're role playing the combat, you're role playing the characters, and getting yourself to the point where you're able to embody that character, even if it's still you. You're still embodying a different you. Doesn't mean the you that you're playing in the game is you in every aspect. You're
right. So I mean, and to lend to your point on that, I mean, we seen that in the last stream that we did in our regular campaign, where you guys decided to eat wolf steaks, and I would completely, in that situation, had reacted that way. You know, I had to walk the fuck out and been like, the fuck y'all, you assholes, you know? Because me as a person, I am not going to eat something that reminds me of the very person I am trying to get uncursed and protect, you know?
Yeah.
And I would take offense to someone doing that, you know? Maybe not to the point that I'm not friends with them anymore, but I would let them know that I am disappointed and I do not agree with it. And that's what I did. That's the me come out in that character when I said I stood up from the table and walked out the door and grumbled to myself out by the fucking building. I would have done that.
Yeah.
You know? Sea Dragon's power's out.
Great. Anyways, so if his power stays out, well, we will definitely know there won't be no D&D. Anyways, let's not worry about that right now. So once I personally find my character, right, I pull him from my imagination and set forth his character. Then I will go into his profession, right?
Right.
Not, and I don't always want to play the same class, because I haven't got to play all the classes in D&D yet. There's a lot of classes, and even if I did choose the same class, there's variables of those classes, so you don't have to worry about, I played like 5 barbarians in each campaign. It's like, oh, okay, why you play 5 barbarians? Well, I played a totem barbarian, a war barbarian, whatever the other like ones are. Like, I played all the other variants. It's still barbarian at first, but then I swapped over to it just because I like playing that class. But then, for me, like I said, I want something that fits that. And I'm like, okay, he likes, like Corvo's doing a lost kid. I will find him. Kids were bit by werewolves, or his sister was. I'm like, okay, what if I found him in a brotherhood of fighters, of warriors, and saved him? Okay, well, I could be a paladin. Paladins are part of brotherhoods, right? They're part of like a holy group that seeks out evil and bad people. I could be a paladin. That's sure right there. That like, it kind of just suits. It just kind of just fit. Though I think I might have heard about your character afterwards. I already had an idea for a paladin. I'm like, okay, well, I can make a brotherhood of paladins, a group of people, and then have your character join in the group, and we become like a little. What's the comedy group? One's serious, one's not. You know what I'm talking about?
Slapstick?
Yeah, slapstick characters. Like, you're serious and I'm not. So, so yeah, I thought it'd be.
Hence why I give Volo so much shit if I think he's been drinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, who gave the bird fucking alcohol again?
Oh.
God damn it.
Oh, it had one cup. But it's...
One cup relatively filled.
Yeah. So if I ever get like a thing or a skin that keeps on refilling itself of alcohol, we're gonna have a real problem. And I don't drink in real life.
You're gonna have a real problem. You're gonna have a real problem when it disappears. So give it to the giant, because apparently when the giant's drinking, his rolls work for us.
Yeah, and
so
he can't get drunk for a while.
He's drunk all the time.
So if we want
What
to
are you
kill
doing?
him,
Drink, bitch.
so if we want to kill him, we just give him all the alcohol he can drink, let him get alcohol poisoning, and he will never know it's alcohol because he can't taste it.
I know, right?
So, but I think like that's for me. It's just the natural transition because I've always been kind of somewhat inspired or enjoyed because I grew up on Robert Williams when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure you had too. Yeah. I love that man's talents for voices and for his characters and so forth. This guy, he wasn't just an actor. He was a multi-talented actor. Broadways, on the streets, in movies, in cartoons. This guy was all over the place doing different voices, and I like that. Even Jim Carrey was one of my favorites. But and finding that character, then finding what matches with it so you can play the game. You can just play a basic warrior in the game, and you will be able to follow it because it's a progression system. So you don't have to worry. Oh, what's easier to play? Every one of them is easier to play. I feel every class is just easy to play as long as you are willing to do some dabbling, asking the right questions, or if you're like me, just wing it. There's no real wrong way of playing your character. Really, it doesn't feel like it. Like this past week, I found out that I can have. I didn't know about it the entire time. I'm supposed to be choosing other abilities other than what I already have for daily spells. You know what I'm saying about the daily choices of spell? I didn't know I had that. I'm supposed to do that. I didn't the entire time. I had a bunch of spells just sitting on the sideline. Could have been doing them. Didn't know it. Found out.
You've been rotating and shit in and out, you know?
Well, no, I had my basic spells, which I've been using, but then I had this other list of spells I could have been using as well, and I didn't because I have a healing spell now. Like actually, another healing spell I can choose from. So like if I had to become the healer, I could, but my character doesn't really do a lot of healing.
Armor for threatening Quibble? What?
What is going on in Discord? Are you gonna make me go look at it?
They're popping up. You know, Clouder and Sea Dragon's talking back and forth. Sea Dragon saying no service till 7:30. You know, that gives us time to get stuff set up. You know, it gives
Karma for threatening Quibbles in a wig and makeup.
Yeah, thinking about Quibble though, I had something pop in my mind, and tell me if this doesn't ring with you.
Okay.
So we're in the alternate dimension of the dream, and Quibble is murdering everything, right?
Yes.
So my thought process is, we have a Zenny suit. We need to keep that bitch asleep, and somebody just needs to tote him around, you know?
Yeah, but also, like, maybe he's the hero in all of his dreams. That's why his character was overpowered in the dream. Because, you know, if you're a failure in real life, in your dreams, you're amazing. You're awesome. You're the absolutely the shit.
We keep him asleep, and he keeps casting, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we get to aim him, so he's not gonna miss. Zenny suit. Fire breathing first stage. Oh.
Okay, so now my question would normally be is afterwards is a moral stance for characters. Morals are something that I think we all struggle with and to try to figure out where do we want our characters' morals to be. And I
Right.
do feel like sometimes some people have more struggles being a truly a uprighteous stand-up dude than being just chaotic. More people are just gravitate toward the chaotic standpoint of a campaign and have more fun with that than trying to
What
be
I
like the ball buster of the group.
what I think that comes down to too is like, think about it. You deal with like strict rules and the way things have to be done all day, every day in life, right? When you're at work, whatever. Nobody wants that shit when they're playing the game.
Yeah.
Your true fucking kid side comes out. You know that what do they call it? Intrusive thoughts that you have during the day that you have to hush up. You don't have to hush them up in the game. Like, yeah, you're walking along, you're like, ooh, I should just slap that vase. You think about that shit when you're walking through the office. You're like, ooh, I could just knock that damn little thing over, but you don't do it because you know there'd be consequences. But in the game, if you knock it over, worst thing's gonna happen. Something's gonna kill your game character. Oh shit! Now I got to build a character. You know,
Yeah.
so you have a little bit of freedom. So your less stringent side of you comes out. It's like, ha ha ha. Well, that's what I do. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, I punched Macaulay in the nuts because he hit me. You know?
Yes. I just think some people would probably play this state and going, okay, well, I don't know, like I don't know how the character will feel, how how the character should feel, and people's natural proclivities will go toward, let's just let hellfire rain, but you gotta have to kind of choose your battles when it comes to how your character will match it, and not just going chaos all the time, but then be a good two sheets later on. No. It's either it's kind of set things really.
I've seen people go to both extremes. I've seen parties where they were hell bent that everything had to follow rules and regulations, and you know, we got to do it this way and that way, and they're very strict, right?
Yeah.
But I've also seen people come into it and out the gate, their whole idea was, I kill everybody that doesn't give me the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
I kill them all. Fuck them.
Yes. And
Now, the irony is, most of the time, the people that are playing those characters are the same people in life that would never hurt a single person. They're just taking out their inhibitions and aggressions in the game because they can't in life, you know?
Yeah. It's like, let's say we're making a character, right? And this character has the tendency or the let's just say tendency. Let's go with that. Probably a better word. To take everybody's meanings or everybody's words the wrong way. Like, no matter what he hears, he or she will take it in the wrong way and then act out in rage toward them. And then trying to, like, the entire time, trying to figure out, or have your group try to figure out for your character how to teach them that they are misguided in their thoughts and action when they hear something, and they are almost purposely or unknowingly taking it in that way so they can seek out rage and anger toward the world. That's something you would like, okay, well, I will act this way. I will take everything they will say. I will try to twist it to wherever I need to make myself angry. And I have to figure out, or life will punish me if I keep on doing it to fix that. It's like, I gotta figure that. My character has to figure that, fix that. Or my group or the world will severely punish me, being the GM. Right? Like, hey, I want you, if I don't figure out how to stop doing this, to severely punish me, my character. Like, almost, you could damn well say, kill it.
Right.
And that's a flaw that we have to put in characters because, well,
if not, you get overrun.
Well, all people are flawed. Everybody's flawed too. So it's like, I want people to, like, bring a flaw. Why? Because it's, one, if you're bringing your own flaw, sure, but bring a flaw that would make your character feel more authentic, not only to yourself but to your group, and then you can have an attachment to it, because it's like you're playing out a story. Even if you are one of the characters in the story, you're still playing out a story. So make it rememberable and make it enjoyable to be in the process of.
Right. So, like, the flaw that I brought for my new character, he's deaf.
Deaf? There we go. All right.
He's deaf. So, but somebody did help raise him. Even though he's stupid and deaf, someone helped raise him, so he does understand common sign. Question is, does any fucking body know how to speak common sign? You know, if not, y'all gonna have a hell of a time communicating with that motherfucker. And everything looks like something to be smashed to him. Just FYI. So,
yeah. You're a bit of a I can't say a schizo. But
Schizo.
yeah, schizo. When it comes to like everything, like at you, like I'm gonna hit it. You come near.
Exactly. That's exactly what he is. Because you got to realize, like, talking about this, his background is people shun him because of his sheer size and strength. You know,
yeah,
they're scared of him. So he's been teased and shunned all his life. He can't hear, you know.
Wait, if you can't hear, how do you know he's being teased?
Because you can see the laughing and the stone throwing and the facial, you know. He's been treated like shit his whole life because he can't hear nobody and he's huge.
Okay.
So, y'all gonna have a hell of a time convincing him to begin with that y'all aren't like that.
Yeah.
Let alone trying to communicate with his ass when you're in a fight. Because think about this. Doesn't matter if you're up front and you see the enemy coming. How the hell are you gonna tell him if you can't communicate with him?
Good question. And I'm sure there's going to be answers to that. Ah, Jesus. Okay, y'all stop. Dog's misbehaving. Kids. All right. But yeah, that's how I make my characters, and that's how I want. If I would say anyone out there, you don't have to take either of our steps. You can go purely just off the character's flaw first, then build from there. You can go just purely off race and go from there.
The point is there's no wrong way to approach building your character.
Mm-hmm.
And if you meet a group of people that make you feel that way, then that's not the group of people you need to be playing with.
No, and it's just like anything in life. It's just about taking that first step. Once that first step goes, then you'll start rolling. And then when you're rolling, well, you don't want to stop. You go from making a character to then wanting to find friends that want to join you, then find the person that wants a GM, and then just starting. It's just a rolling process. And when people invite you to it, I invite you to take that risk, to take that leap of faith and just try it. Because you don't know whether you're going to like something until you give it a shot.
That's right. You have absolutely no clue. And you know, it is what it is.
And you can be the goody good two shoes Christian person in the campaign. That's fine. That's how you want to play. Be that person.
Don't be afraid to play and build your character the way you want to play and build your character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the biggest thing. The whole point in my thought process of D&D is to allow you to build a character that you like, that you love, and play it the way you want to play it. And understand that there's consequences for flaws and stuff that you put in there. You know, if you're willing to accept that, by all means, give it a shot. I don't know a whole lot of people that, if they actually sat down and played it at least once and got with a good group of people that would understand them, that they wouldn't play it again.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. And even if you don't find the right group at first, if you keep on, if you're truly, if you're interested in doing it, try another group. There's, maybe someone else in that group will be willing, like, hey, let me try a whack at GMing. If you're a person that's interested and passionate in writing yourself, it could be a way to alleviate yourself of trying to be creative in your writing and let other people play the characters to where they feel the characters would respond and act, and then take those and make it into it.
It can inspire you. It can inspire the way you view a character by seeing how someone else does it. I know that honestly, I was inspired to play this brutish motherfucker by Baldrum. I really was. And I know that at some point somebody will be inspired to play somebody like Ditto did, because I played the shit out of Ditto. Had a lot of fun with him.
I think a lot of people, if really, and I say this all sincerity, I think playing a dumb character is the most, I wouldn't say easiest, because it comes with its own challenges, because you got to realize if your character can't speak, communication between you and your players are not there. They're not existence. So you have to figure out a way of communicating with them. But playing a dumb character also alleviates you from any really fiscal responsibilities, because, well, your character isn't smart. So therefore, they will do dumb things. And if they get allowed to do dumb things, they will do anything and everything, if they see their actions being reasonable and so on. And you could just go wild and forego any rational thinking or problems that come about it because of it. It's freeing. It's definitely freeing. And I wanted to, when I played Baldrum, to have that, because I'm like, okay, this is gonna be my first official D&D game. Bar watching people play the game, I'm gonna play something that's a little stupid, so I don't have to really think about it.
And now I will open these.
Yeah, these are Drits from the popular book that Corvo has been a fan of for a very long time. If everybody's not watched a D&D podcast in the past, or any of our D&D campaigns, he's talked about his characters a number of times. He's even modeled some of his characters off of this character. He likes him so much, and when one of our past players went to a store, he picked up this pack for Corvo, right? Am I missing on that?
No, you're right.
And he's been waiting to open on these. And after this, I have a topic that I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it. And I just want to, make a, I don't want to make a drama out of it. I just want to make people aware of it, right? This is green and black. I can't quite, green and black with swirls, with white lettering.
It's, I would say it's largely green with black swirls and white lettering.
You definitely couldn't mix up the numberings. They are big and bold.
Yeah.
So when you roll, you'll be like, "Oh, what is that?" No, you can tell. And that's how dice should be. Of course, we went to Books A Million maybe a few weeks back or last week. I can't remember. Or not Books A Million. A Second and Charles, and they had those big chunker dices. And I'm like, oh man, I was tempted to grab one because I want a big old dice, not because I'm blind, but just because the idea of just rolling a big old fat dice in my tray would just be funny to me. But okay, right. So I'm going to, Corvo, I'm gonna send you a quick video here on Discord, and I want you to watch the whole thing. Now, I am not sending this to you as a alluring video, but I want you to look at the person's face very closely as best you can and tell me what you notice. Again, barring the alluring side of it, look at their face. Tell me what you notice.
What the hell?
Do you notice anything odd with her face? Okay, so what the video I'm showing him right now is a girl who looks like she's in a gymnastic gym. She is, well, she's very fit for a girl her age and so on. She is alluring, you might even say. But when she turns her head toward the camera for a second, you see a shift in her face. And it doesn't quite look right. But when she turns all the way around, her face is distorted. See, what is going on in this video is girls right now are using a Instagram filter or a TikTok filter to make themselves look like they have Down syndrome. To make them look like they have a mental problem. And this is going around because a few months back, there is a girl with Down syndrome, actual Down syndrome, that is working at a gym. And she too is for a girl that has Down syndrome, she takes very good care of herself. And a lot of guys posted online with like, hey, I don't care if she's does have Down syndrome. I think she's very pretty. And I would date a girl like her. I'm like, hey, respectful, right? She is alluring, but she noticeably has Down syndrome. Like the facial features and expressions give sway to that. So girls are now going online and on OnlyFans and on stuff like this, doing these filters to try to draw in men like that to their channels to check them out, and even buy subscription to them with the filters as if they actually have Down syndrome. And again, I want to make...
Basically, they're catfishing men for likes and subscription.
Yes. And OnlyFans subscriptions at times, too. Like, you know how OnlyFans is, that side of OnlyFans. And I just kind of like... I want to bring awareness to this. I don't think this is a healthy thing for society. Not a drama thing. This is just... why? You get what I'm saying here? Is that messed up? Because I kind of think...
I get what you're saying, and it just boils down to... I guess they feel like that's a way to get what they want. Not the right way.
Mm-hmm.
But they're using someone's well-intended words saying, hey, I don't care if she has this ailment. I think she's very pretty, and I would date her.
Yes.
To me, there's nothing wrong in that statement. But what they're seeing is, oh, if I look this way, then I'm going to get money and subscriptions and followers, and that's going to help me financially. Mm-hmm. So let's exploit that shit. And I agree. I feel like that's kind of low.
I think that's kind of messed up because if you're naturally beautiful, you're naturally pretty, and you're in a sea of other pretty girls, and you feel like you can't stand out to the point where you have to make yourself look like you're mentally handicapped to garner that attention, to garner that thing, I think you're not only belittling those who have that problem, but you're also like almost belittling yourself.
I would agree with that statement.
And I don't want people to look at this, even if you find this attractive, I don't want you to look at this as a positive note, nor do I want people to try to support this. I can't feel like some form of ick behind the fact that this isn't real. Almost like it's almost AI, and it's unhealthy for you if that is your kink, as I would say. They're not all like this. Like, not every one of them that has Down syndrome is even physically or mentally capable of working out to the point where they can get their body into shape.
Agreed.
So why would people seek that out? There's different strokes for different folks. If I said this for years now, but this is not a real stroke. This is a fake stroke based on a real interest to some men or women.
Right.
And I've seen the woman with the actual Down syndrome. She is She is very alluring. She has a great figure. Just she has the noticeable thing going on, and if you can see past that, great on you. But I don't want girls online. If anybody ever watched this, any female watches this, don't follow trends. Be your own trend. Be what makes you different from others. Being yourself. I don't think this kind of thing should be personally. I don't have kids, so
You missed a lot.
So you
essentially,
catch her up.
There was a girl. She has Down syndrome, but she works at a gym. She's not so afflicted that she hasn't been able to get herself in very, very nice shape.
Okay.
And a male made a completely
Terrible men, but
terrible, okay comment in saying, I don't care if she has this affliction. I think she is very beautiful, and I would date someone like her. To which a bunch of women that are already beautiful out there have went and started using filters to make themselves look like they have Down syndrome on OnlyFans and other things to get subscribers, to try to pull in people that have that kind of a kindness about them that would be willing to look past this, and catfish. And what he's saying was there's two problems. One, if you feel like, and you're already beautiful, right? And you still feel like you can't stand out enough, that you have to do this, you're doing a disservice to yourself. And two, it's a disservice to people that actually have the affliction, right? And he's trying to say, don't follow trends. Be you. Be the person that you are and try to stand out, That's what he's saying.
This isn't the first, nor is it probably going to be the last.
It's not. We all know it. But he's just saying it was something that he's seen that made him want to speak about it.
Yeah. I don't want to bring it to drama. I just want to bring it to people's awareness. Like, you don't have to be like this. You don't have to do this. You can, I don't want to say rise above it, but just be yourself. There's nothing wrong with that.
Because it does make it seem specific to this trend.
Right.
Just saying.
Right. I get that.
And
But anyway, that was the scenario. A guy was trying to be kind and explain that even if she did have this syndrome, he would be willing to try to, but because he was genuine, some of the other girls that were pretty were like, ooh, if I do this, I might could pull in those folks,
Well, here's a question.
Some more subscribers.
Should Instagram and Twitter remove this filter from their pages so girls can't use this kind of
I would say
thing?
I would think that it should be removed, yes.
What about Stealthy? I can't quite hear her.
She said yes, she would think so too.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I think they should just remove it. This is not helpful. This is not progressive. This is not, I don't know. I don't see any positive note from this other than helping these girls garner the attention that they crave and desire when I'm sure they're already enough. Girls, I don't know. You understand that. I'm sure everybody feels this at some time. You are enough. I'm sorry. You are. You are enough. We're not perfect. None of us are. We could all be better. But you're enough.
Hey, look at me. Apparently, I was enough for somebody.
True and real. And unlike my wife, your hot wife
Although
hits
when she
hits
gets
all the
through
time.
with me after the podcast for that comment, I might not be enough for somebody. But I mean,
okay. Last thing from me, at least, if you have something else to talk about, I want to ask you this quick question because I've been actually meaning to ask you this question for a while offline, and I wanted to do it while we're here. Okay, so this past week, I was looking online because you well know I changed my internet provider, right? And I saw wasn't an article, but I saw something online about Ethernet cords. and this is gonna get technical. You work with this stuff probably far more than I do. I don't know what Cat version of Ethernet cord you use at your job, or if you even use Cats anymore. But I have Cat 5s and Cat 6. I've been using them for years. I know I don't need anything faster than them, but I saw on one of those websites saying Cat 8 was like the newest one out, and Cat 8 had a new system inside the cords. If power would ever go through the cords, it would prevent it from frying or messing up any things inside your routers. And I was going, is that just marketing, or is that like legit?
No, it's legit. So what they've done is they've built in basically a surge protection inside the cabling for Cat 8s.
Yeah.
So that if a power surge hits, that cable will essentially burn out at that spot before it burns your equipment up.
Okay.
And
so
not to the point that it's like going to catch something on fire. Think of it like a fuse, okay?
Okay.
You know how a fuse just pops if it gets a surge? It's kind of like that.
Okay.
It's built so that you replace the cable, not the device. You understand? And cables are a hell of a lot cheaper than modems and routers and switches and...
Okay, because I was looking at one, I'm going, well, should I upgrade it? Like, I don't have 2 gigabytes of internet speed. I don't, or 5 or 10 or whatever the Cat 8 can pull out. I know Cat 6 can do 1 gigabyte, and know Cat 7 can do more than that, and I imagine, okay, Cat 8 can do even more. I don't need that. But is that a worthwhile investment? And being that I get a lot of thunderstorms around this place.
If you want to look at it, it's not just about speed. Like, peace of mind on your equipment.
Yes.
Understand that you're doing 2 things. Okay? One, you're buying something that may prolong the life of your equipment, keep it from getting fucked up. And 2, if you swap to it even before you have the ability to have the speeds, the infrastructure's already in place so that when you do have the ability to have those speeds, it does come down to when you can afford it. It's already there.
Yeah.
You just have to replace your device.
So, to our viewers, I guess that's a way of endorsing, saying, hey, investing to Cat 8 might be a helpful thing if you're in areas with a lot of thunderstorms and so on.
If I was going to recable this house, I would definitely get Cat 8. Because it may save my modem. It may save my router. It may save my switches. It may save my PC.
Yeah. And if you're renting one, if you know your modem or whatnot, and it fries, well, you can replace that, but you can't replace your own personal hardware. And yeah, I might pick up one now because I thought it was just marketing. I'm like, well, marketing does what marketing does. It over exaggerates, and I buy. They undersell me. It's just I don't want to buy stuff like that. It's like it's just a cord. How can a cord be that fancy? It's just some wires, some copper, and some foil, and some maybe fiberglass, and there we go. It sends me data. And I'm like, I don't know anything about cords. I know about computers, but cords are not that much. And I'm like, let's ask Corvo. He does with that. Is your company all like Cat 8?
Not all of it. Some of it is not. Okay, that disturbed me. I'm sorry.
I saw something just
not all of it, but we're in the process of recabling, and when we started redoing the recabling across the company, Cat 8 had not come out yet.
Okay.
So we are not Cat 8 across the company, but I think new installations are getting Cat 8 now that it's out and it has the surge protection in it.
Yeah.
Just because, like I said, it's not because we're ever going to use those speeds, to be perfectly honest. It's more about prolonging the life of the equipment that's tied to it. You know, it's kind of like buying a UPS for the power. Okay. So you have a UPS for power. If you get a surge on the power port, the UPS protects your device, right?
Yes.
Well, so think about this. What if the power surge isn't on the power? What if it's on the network? Well, then that UPS doesn't do shit for you. But if you have this cable in place, the cable does. So the best possible scenario for people out there have a good UPS for power, Cat 8. If you do that, it doesn't matter which way the power surge comes from.
Yeah. I can imagine if it comes from your computer to the modem, if you know the reverse angle. I imagine something can happen like to your own power supply. Power supply freaks out.
I mean,
bus
it goes the other way too. So let's say your power supply has a short and sends a power surge back, right, through the NIC. Well, then that Cat 8 is still going to do exactly what it's supposed to do. It's a power surge, so it's going to pop before it gets to your modem or your router.
Mm-hmm. Kind of makes me wish I could put something that like just all my power supply to my motherboard, so if the power supply ever freaks out, it doesn't fry my motherboard. It's like, yeah, just break that. more of that, you know, that what's it called, like double protection kind of thing. Like, you know, one thing a double fail safe. That's the word we're looking for.
Yeah,
fail safe.
One of the things over the years that I have thought about multiple times building computers and stuff is why do we not have more fusible links on our powers?
Yeah.
You know, like if you go look at the power supply, there's no fusible links on those wires going from that power supply to the motherboard or any drive that you have or anything like that. Why do we not have those? Why are those not there?
I guess they're not sleek and sexy and appealing, but you know, because because a lot of people make computer parts nowadays and try to make them look cool as they possibly can, rather than make sure the functionalities never not function. Just some way of saying.
Well, it's about the engineers that design them, and quite frankly, if your computer dies, what do you have to do?
Buy a new one.
Right. So I mean,
that marketing, you know, disposable items so they can resell you over and over and over again, like tires. Like, oh yeah, they do what they're supposed to do, but they're made to, you know, eventually wear out and be destroyed. So you buy them again, rather than just make, not inflatable tires that can still be driven on, and keeps on getting stopped for some reason, as if we don't already know that a honeycomb infiller of a tire could actually run as just as good as a regular air tire. But you know, forget that idea, because that's not exposable. Sorry, that's a bit of a gripe of mine. Tires, you usually well know. Last week yourself, you should know how expensive tires are. Yeah. I could go for a tire that can last more than a a year or two, and not have to replace it because of tire rot or popping or.
Like the tires that I bought for the Corvette are, I think they're like 42 or either 50,000 mile tires.
Mm-hmm.
Barring them getting punctured by anything, you got to drive all those miles before you wear them down, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they get punctured, you still have to have them repaired. So it's a catch-22, you know?
Yeah, they always say if the tire gets punctured, you're supposed to replace it after so many miles, because like it's already been punctured. But like, well, there come kits nowadays that help you to relieve that stress a little bit longer, but eventually you still have to replace that tire sooner rather than later, because it will pop back open or it'll start to tear or rip or whatnot. And it's like, if he just made it not air,
it depends on what you do to repair it. It depends on how you repair it, because there's more than one way to do it. They do have patch kits out there now that if it's in a place that's not terrible, like if it's actually in the tread area or something up on the flatter surface of your tire, you can patch it and you might get the full life of the tire out of it.
Yeah.
However,
I've seen
don't expect that to happen if you plug it.
Yeah, I've seen like some tire kits where you plug it up to the tire, the air area, and you spray inside the tire, and it's supposed to coat the inside of the tire and plug up any holes. And I've seen the patches, and of course we got the classic stick and stab version to try to stick in a little wax or a little tar stick inside of it to plug up the hole. It's just like this. Anyways, I'll go back to the computer thing, and I'll probably buy me some, at least two. One for my computer and one to my wife's computer. And if the modem ever gets a surge through it and it fries, well, it's the modem I got from my from my new internet provider, not my actual $400 modem. So I'm not too worried about that one frying because they would just replace it. I am not gonna feel that guilty if it gets fried. It's nice though. It's a very nice tower. I just don't know if it's $400 like mine is. Bought it a while back. Okay, so no one gives me just like this before we moved into this house. I bought it, so it's kind of old now actually. Don't know if it's the best or greatest anymore, but it's still nice. What?
He said, male honeybees die almost immediately after mating with the queen, so their entire life is honey, nut, Cheerio.
Law, that's someone posting that in the Discord, I bet, right?
No, that was her scrolling through her stuff.
I find it random.
She gets the random good shit, dude. She really does.
The shave meme. Oh, see, I know I wouldn't look like that, but that is definitely a fear of mine. Like, oh yeah, well, you had that beard for it to give you a fake jawline, and this guy. I wonder if that's real. Like, did he like purposely like suck his chin in like that, or is that actually how he looks? Because if so, he can never shave his beard. Jesus H. Christ. He will forever be in mourn. Anyways, that's it for this podcast. Lotus, stop, boy. You haven't done this in a long time. When you start doing this again, boy? Rubbing his butt against things. I got maybe some pizza. My wife got me a pizza. It's thawing, so I should be ready to go. We'll be live within the hour. So stay tuned here.
Hour to hour and a half, depending on Sea Dragon. But when you get back, we probably do need to go ahead and make the call in case we need to help the other two.
Yeah. And go ahead and send them a text, or send them a message on the Discord going, hey guys, we're gonna be making characters, doing a one-off, and we can just stream it. Then again, I can't see their perspective. I wish I could, and I already have my character made, so, and you just made yours.
Yeah, I really, really wish that I could see what they're doing sometimes, because I can imagine. I mean, I know that they're not comfortable being on camera, but I would love to see their faces sometimes when they're doing some of the shit they're doing. The thought process
of them,
because you can see, I can only imagine what Macaulay looks like when he's thinking about, he knows that he's about to fuck us all up, or when Quibble's thinking, I'm gonna haul ass. You know?
Yeah. All right. So, all right. But as always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all.